This morning on Daybreak, Governor Mike Parson signs a bill that could free hundreds of people from mandatory prison terms.
And a fire broke out in a cove at Lake of the Ozarks last night. What we know so far.
Plus, a former Disney Channel star is under fire after posting a photo of her newborn daughter with pierced ears. We'll talk about that and more coming up this morning on Daybreak.
Good morning, and thanks for waking up with us. It's Thursday, July 11th. I'm Lauren Barnes.
And I'm Joe Morano. As we have a lot to get to today, those stories plus some movie tickets to give out as usual, right?
Yeah. Yesterday during the day, it would have been a nice day to go inside. You know, movie theaters are always so cold that during the winter you joke that you need a blanket. Yesterday, you probably would have been just fine in your shorts and a tank top in the movie theater.
Probably. Would have been all right. I saw a little bit of a cool down. Missed the rain. Jamie was saying that when that came through, though, that did cool down a lot of that area later on the day, right, Lisa?
Yeah, so those we did hit that heat index at 100 in Springfield. Yeah. It was steamy out there. Then we get that boundary to come through, and you know, we said that humidity was going to drop off, and it did. Wow, it felt much better out there once those storms came through, and the temperatures wound up dropping into the 80s and then into the 70s by the end of the day.
So are we still feeling nice this morning?
Yeah, it feels much better out there. We've got some mostly clear skies, temperatures around 70 degrees in Springfield, and it just feels better. It doesn't feel as oppressive as it was. We've got north winds out there this morning with a dew point of 67. It's 68 in Branson, 69 in Ava, and 69 degrees in Mountain Grove. The dew points are more comfortable up to the north in the middle 60s there. Still holding on to stickier dew points to the south and east, but those will come down as we head through the day as well. You could see at the Muggy meter how it feels a little bit better up to the north, and we're, you know, still maybe feeling a little bit oppressive down south, but we will see everybody come down with those dew points today. Dry roads out there, green light conditions, so not expecting any road hazards. At the pool today, we're looking at mostly sunny skies, temperatures in the middle and upper 80s, and a very high UV index of 9. As you fire up the barbecue, we'll continue to have these dry conditions, mostly clear and pleasant through the evening and overnight hours, still feeling pretty good. So we're tracking less humidity for today. Nice again tomorrow. The weekend gets a little bit steamier, and then we've got some tropical trouble brewing, how it could impact the Ozarks, coming up in 10 minutes.
Making news now, a new Missouri law could free hundreds of people from mandatory prison terms for nonviolent crimes. Governor Mike Parson just signed this bill yesterday. The new law could make those prisoners under the Missouri Department of Corrections eligible for parole, probation, or even early release. The law will lessen the percentage of time offenders must serve their sentence before being eligible for parole. Criminal defense attorney Adam Woody says the new law would save thousands of taxpayer dollars each year.
The people who are in jail currently are going to see a tremendous potential impact on their lives and their cases, because now if someone was there for a long, long time, because again, there are some people in prison for 15, 20, 30 years for drug cases. Well, rather than having to serve 20 or 25 years of those sentences, most likely they'd be parole eligible right now.
Mandatory minimums for violent crimes will still be in place. That includes things like murder, assault, and rape. The law does not go into effect until August 28th.
Need to let you know about a fire that broke out in a cove at Lake of the Ozarks last night. Highway Patrol Troop F reported that 2 boats on fire at the Village Marina inside Jobson Hollow Cove was happening. A viewer sent us this video last night. Still, though, no injuries have been reported thus far.
It's your right to know as you wake up. 2 of the 4 teens involved in vandalism at Lawrence County sites are set to appear in court today for disposition hearings. 17-year-old Matthew Levin and Curtis Board are both charged with first-degree property damage, trespassing in the first degree, and vandalism. Both were involved in vandalizing more than 50 headstones at the Lee Cemetery in Verona over Memorial Day weekend. They are also charged with causing thousands of dollars worth of damage at the Aurora City Pool. Both hearings are scheduled for 9:30 this morning.
Some more local news for you. Springfield drivers are getting better at yielding for pedestrians. Earlier this year, a study found that only 25% of Springfield drivers were yielding at those crosswalks. But since April, the city says that number has moved up to 29%. It's a decent increase since an average of 60 pedestrians are struck on Springfield streets each year. The quarterly assessment evaluates driver compliance at 6 crosswalk sites with similar traffic speeds and characteristics.
In your political news, victims of sexual assault were the focus of hospital staff as well as law enforcement yesterday. The Attorney General started the Safe Kits initiative back in February in an attempt to tackle the backlog of sexual assault kits in Missouri. Right now, the initiative is in its first step, which is figuring out exactly how many untested kits there are. Last year, there were reports of 5,000 untested kits in the state. However, that number is only just from about 40% participation of all the entities that could respond.
And I think the leadership from our office and law enforcement and the hospitals across the state working together is actually going to have that data. And that data is going to be really important for the next phase, which is an inventory for us to track, for victims to be able to track, and then ultimately lead to the testing and ultimately prosecution.
Now, if you're a victim and want to know more about the rape kits anonymously, there's a hotline you can call. To find that, visit our website, ozarksfirst.com.
We have some medical coverage this morning to address the choices parents make for their children, often scrutinized by others. Experts even label the criticism as parent shaming.
One celebrity is sparking debate after performing a common body modification on her young daughter. Hannah Zettel joins us this morning with the controversy.
Well, good morning, Lauren and Joe. Social media creates the perfect setting for that parent shaming. The most recent conversation is centered around infant ear piercing. Former Disney Channel star Hilary Duff is facing criticism after posting an Instagram photo of her young daughter with pierced ears. The post sparking a debate on if body modification could be harmful to babies and if this is a decision parents should make before the child can make the choice themselves. We spoke with Mercy, which says the tradition is safe for infants as long as the earrings have a backing that locks and stainless steel posts. Dr. Burson also says parents frequently ask him about this and the risks associated, and he gives them similar advice.
I would recommend not doing it in early infancy just because there's a small risk, not zero, but you'd hate to be that one person who ends up aspirating that or having it in the airway and having somebody to have to put a camera or scope into there to pull it out. But probably the best time would be in that mid-grade school age when the kids are old enough to help care for it.
Dr. Burson also says it's actually safer to pierce your child's ears sometime between infancy and puberty because after that time, children are more prone to develop scar tissue at the site of the piercing.
All right, Hannah Zettel, thank you for that report this morning. Just getting started for you here on Daybreak. President Trump has signed a new executive order.
Plus, Elisa is back to tell us about a much appreciated cool down for this Thursday. We'll be right back.
From Color 10 Ozarks First, Lauren Barnes, Joe Morano, and weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa. This is Color 10 News Daybreak.